I think we're coming up on about 10 years. Maybe this is our 10th year. We started this summer. Jim Gittings, a former member who passed away, this was his brainchild, and unfortunately, he lived just barely long enough to see our first trip leave the church for Columbia. But for 10 years now, one Saturday a month, we meet folks at the bus station downtown and transport them to Columbia, where they can have an afternoon visit at any of the various facilities in Columbia. Primarily women, and they want to see their loved one, whether it's a spouse or a father or a son, and most often probably a son who's in there doing time. And it's interesting to listen to the folks talk, and a lot of these guys who are in behind bars have caused a lot of pain, and it's interesting to see how these family members are very realistic about that. They don't paper over the imperfections. They just love them and they want to visit them. Some don't have cars. Many don't have cars that are dependable. And many enjoy the fellowship of meeting other people who are in a similar predicament, if you will. And they sometimes they're a little quieter on the way down than they are on the way back. After their visits, you might hear them, be more open about sharing their experiences. And then, we stop for lunch. We all eat together. We have a nice fellowship. There's a good opportunity to enjoy each other's company, and I think that's a big part of what we do. The most touching thing I had at one time, this was early on, and it was before we used the bus. We used the van, the 12-passenger van, and it was my week. I was alone. And this young woman had a 2-year-old child and took her in to visit, and she didn't realize she had to bring the child's birth certificate. So here I am. We always sit in the parking lot and make sure our people get in. We watch them walk in after they go through the intake. She comes running out, hands me the little girl, says, "I'll be right back, I promise." And about 2.5 hours later, she came back. And for an hour of that, I'm sure that child screamed at the top of her lungs until she finally screamed herself out and fell asleep in my arms. And so that was a long day for me. But later on, this gal came by my office with her husband, who'd gotten out, and with the little girl, and thanked me not for that particular incident, because she came to visit several times, and just thanked our church for providing this service, and stated just as plain as day how much it meant to her. And I really knew it did.
Well, not long ago, I think it was 2 or 3 months ago, when I was on the trip, and it was a new lady, new person taking the trip. Of course, I didn't know anything about her, and I asked her who she's going to visit, and she said she was going to visit her son. And I asked her how long it had been since she'd seen her son, and she told me it had been 16 years. And that's the kind of thing that keeps me going. The people really appreciate what we do. They really appreciate the opportunity to go down and have a safe way to get there. And that made a big impression on me. There's stories like that, that's just happened over the years where people haven't seen loved ones in so long, I can't even fathom it.
The reality is it's not about the numbers. When, as Alan expresses, what it meant to one person, and knowing that this is very meaningful to the folks that you do take, whether there's 2 of them or 10 of them. You know, I don't see anything in our gospel saying you got to have big numbers, you know, to have a good program. So we just stick with it. We keep plugging away.